We're starting more seeds this weekend. It's about the second week of February. My name's Casey. I garden in Western Washington, Zone 8B. And this weekend we are starting our peppers, starting our herbs, and we're starting sunflowers that take about 10 weeks. My last frost date is around April 19th, but I typically wait till the 1st of May because Washington springs can be a little weird. Except this spring is warm, so I have a feeling we'll be putting our stuff out a little early this year. Let's just do a little quick update on what I've already started. So my onions, my celery, my brassicas, some lettuce, my sweet potatoes have started to root. Everything that I just listed, I've up potted. I started those about 3 weeks ago. I up potted them a few days ago. My sweet potatoes are starting to root finally, so hopefully they'll be getting some slips. Everything is in my greenhouse. It is not heated, but there are heat mats in there and there are grow lights, and that keeps my greenhouse warm enough to grow my stuff. I did it the exact same way last year. It was not heated last year, and everything was able to grow successfully with the grow lights and the heat mats. So we'll just rapid fire quickly through what I'm gonna be starting this weekend, aka tomorrow. These are all in the 10-week category, okay? Okay, first and foremost, we're starting things that have been cold stratifying in my refrigerator. It's the same concept as winter sowing, but I'm not doing it in milk jugs outside. I put my seeds that require a cold period to signal to them that winter has happened, so they'll wake up and germinate. I have had those in my fridge for, I would say, probably 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. Those include lavender, chives, yarrow, echinacea. These are things that I had luck doing it this way last year. I had them in my fridge and then I put them in my greenhouse and then they germinated. Whereas the previous years when I've tried to do this without cold stratification, it just didn't work. Okay, so if you ever have an issue getting echinacea to germinate, lavender, which is already a very hard thing to germinate in general, overseed them and put them in your fridge, okay? So we're doing some garlic chives, some larkspur, which didn't really require a cold stratification, I don't think, but I just had them in there. Actually, it does. It says cold stratify 1 week prior. I thought I just put that. I've never grown larkspur. Some salvia, a couple different varieties of lavender. I'm doing the Munstead. These are all varieties I've grown before. I mostly put these in my front garden. My front garden is mostly just flowers because it doesn't get that much sunlight. So these things grow really well out there. So doing the Elegance purple lavender, the oregano, Porch mint ice. Those are really, really pretty lavenders. They're great for bouquets. Those I grew last year. They're actually kind of starting to wake up because our winter was not that severe this year. I don't even think we're getting snow. We were snowing last year now, and we're not snowing right now. Some 3 different types of echinacea. I'm doing the green twister, mellow yellow, and Allen's Pride, and then yarrow, which is like my favorite. I love yarrow. I have the red. These are all ones I already have out there, but I kind of want to do some more. So the red yarrow, Colorado blend from Botanical Interest, and then the summer pastels from Johnny's. Okay, so those are things that have been cold stratifying that we are going to be starting tomorrow. Next, flowers. I'm mainly just starting my snapdragons. In 2 weeks, I'll start my 8-week category of flowers. I'm doing the Defiance Red from M.I. Gardner, the Cans Mix from Johnny's, the Potomac Yellow from Johnny's, Potomac Orange from Territorial Seed, Adam Butterfly from Territorial Seed, Northern Lights from my friend Monica, and then also the Crispidia Drumstick Flower. And then I got this Dahlia decorative blend. You can grow dahlias from seed, and then they'll create tubers, at the end of the year. So you can grow them from tubers, which have already had a life cycle, or you can grow them from seed. Never done this before, only done tubers. So we're gonna start a bunch of these and just see what happens, all right? So we're starting those flowers. And then herbs. Herbs, I'm not gonna go into all the varieties. Herbs are very boring to me, but I do like growing them, but I don't wanna take up the video with that. So I'm just basically doing some dill, parsley, basil, rosemary, thyme. Most of my herbs that I left in the garden, because most herbs are perennials, are like flourishing right now because we haven't had that harsh of a winter. So I may not even have to grow that many. Obviously I'll have to do basil, but like all my oregano, all my rosemary, all of my catnip, it's all still alive. So I might just do a couple of these, but I do like to start these 10 weeks prior. I said in a previous video, 6 weeks. I didn't mean to say that. I always do these when I start my peppers because I want them to be kind of bigger starts when I put them outside. You can start them whenever you want. I'm just literally telling you when I start them, what I did last year. let's go over all the peppers I'm growing. I'm still growing a lot of varieties, but I did kind of skimp it down from last year. Last year I grew more, if you can believe it. So I'm going to be doing the Sweet Belle blend from Botanical Interest. It has the Yolo Wonder, Coral Belle, and Canary Belle, which is just an orange, a yellow, and a red. So just 3 different types. Doing a Tabasco, Thai red chili, Pequeño Yellow Piquillo. Am I Gardner? I'm growing most of these peppers so I can pickle them. I grow a lot of them for salsa and hot sauce, and I grow a lot of them to freeze so I can use them in meals. And then I can peppers as well so I can pour some like canned peppers into meals. Okay, so I use peppers for a lot of different things, but I'm growing a lot of varieties to pickle because I love pickled peppers. The Chiltepin, I'm sorry if I'm messing up these names, I am very Caucasian. The Chiltepin pepper, Golden Cow, Wonder Belle, Ozark Giant, grown this before. This is my first year ever growing a habanero, so we'll see. I know that super spicy peppers typically take a lot longer, so I may have wanted to start these like 2 weeks ago, but we'll see what happens. Jimmy Nardello, grown these before, love them. Habanada, these are so good. Just as snacking peppers from, this one's from Territorial Seed Company. Sweet Banana from Botanical Interest, Italian Peppercini. Hungarian Hot Wax, these do really, really well in the Pacific Northwest. If you're looking for a pepper that grows really well here, they do good in kind of more wet environments. Firecracker from Emma Gardner. Jalafuego, this is like one of my favorite jalapenos to grow. Very prolific, big jalapenos. Love Johnny's. Poblano, grown this before. Cubanelle, grew this last year. Huge peppers. This one's new, Fire and Ice Patio from M.I. Gardner. And then Altiplano, this is my favorite Serrano to grow. I grew 2 different varieties last year. I forgot the name of the other one, but this one was way more prolific. So I'm sticking with the Altiplano from Johnny's. We'll do the seed starting process with you guys. If you want to know my soil mix, I have a video about that. Everything that I've already done up until this point is in my 2026 garden or my 2026 seed starting playlist. I have different playlists for everything I've done this year. So tomorrow I will just show you guys how I'm starting these. I'll be starting them mostly in soil blocks. I'm going to do the really small soil blocks for my snapdragons and such. I'm going to be doing the 2-inch ones for my peppers. They will get up potted before I put them outside at the end of April. So everything ends up getting up potted one way or the other, but it just depends what size I start with. All right, so that's it, guys. This is going to be one of my more major seed starting weekends because it's just so many I'm starting. It's full swing. I love scrolling right now and just seeing everybody starting seeds. It's very exciting. So let me know what you're starting this weekend. If you're in the Pacific Northwest and you want to follow along, this is what I'm starting. I hope you have a great Friday and a great weekend, and I love ya. Bye.